2 days ago, me and a couple of my friends decided to partake in the first ever global team tournament for Cardfight Vanguard Zero. And we won. Let's take a look at how we did that. Oh, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, TrueChampionSteven, and we are back with another Vanguard Zero video for you guys, and today is a very, very special video. If you guys cannot tell by the title, by my hypeness, by everything that's happening to me for the past 2 days, me and my teammates, Landon and Eric, these guys, we decided to partake in the first ever global team tournament for Cardfight Vanguard Zero, held by the Cardfight Vanguard Tournament Discord server. That's a hard sentence to say. And we ended up winning it, the whole thing. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I streamed the whole thing. It was super hype. If you guys want to check out the full VOD of the entire stream that I did, links are in the description below. But that's not what this video is. Not just a celebration video. It's more of an information video. I'm going to be going over kind of our thoughts. I'm going to be going over kind of my rounds, our deck lists, sharing you guys, giving you guys all the information that we worked with in order to kind of take down this tournament, to see if it can kind of help you guys prepare for any upcoming tournaments that you might have in the future, whether it's for Cardfight Vanguard Zero, Real Cardfight Vanguard, or whatever else you guys decide to play. This kind of knowledge is really good. We did about 4 or 5 hours worth of playtesting, probably more hours than that of just like building decks and theory modding together. So I'm really excited to share with you guys some of those thoughts that we have. I think some of them were actually very unique and not seen before, so I cannot wait to show you guys that kind of stuff. You guys are excited for this video and excited for me to be doing well at this card game that I've been kind of putting a lot of work into to get better at, because I really want to make sure that when I give you guys information, it's the correct kind of information that will help you get better, not just information that I have based on my opinion. This information that I'm going to be giving you guys has proven to deliver a victory. So hopefully you guys will get better for it, or at the very least learn something from it, right? I mean, that's the whole goal. So if you guys are excited for this video, please be sure to let me know that by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, because that really does help me learn what you guys like about my channel. It helps me learn like what you guys are excited about. It lets me learn what I'm doing right. You know, I never know what I'm doing right, and when I get validation from you guys, the amazing True Squad members, it really does help me out. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and hop into what this video is going to be about. In this video, I'm going to be doing 3 things. I'm going to be showing you guys the deck list that me and my teammates actually used to take down this tournament, which should be pretty exciting. You guys will definitely learn something from that. I will say right now that none of our decks were maxed out. I definitely would have liked with maybe 1 or 2 more triple rares. Eric definitely would have liked with 1 or 2 more, and Landon for sure would have liked 1 or 2 more triple rares. So this just goes to show that you guys can actually perform really well in a competitive environment without maxing out your decks. Just a little heads up, like that's going to be shown in this video. The second thing that we're going to do is I'm going to do a reflection of the actual meta that we decided to kind of do, like our thoughts on the meta for this tournament, our thoughts on the meta as a whole for the entirety of set 1 Cardfight Vanguard Zero, as well as maybe what we think the meta is going to be like once set 2 drops. Obviously that's going to be like a meta prediction, but less so of kind of a reflection. I think that's kind of going to be an important part of the video, because I think reflecting and learning about the meta of the set 1 meta that we're in now will help inform us of coming metas in the future, because how can you really understand your present if you don't understand your past, right? That kind of a thing. And finally, I'm going to be giving you guys the actual play-by-play slash showing you guys the fights that I did for this stream. I'll be playing my rounds for you guys, as well as providing live commentary for those rounds here with you guys. So we're going to be watching them at the same time. Super cool. Like I said, I'll be providing extra commentary on my play, extra commentary on my opponent's play. Hopefully I won't repeat myself too much, because I won't be able to hear myself while I'm talking to you guys, but hopefully if I repeat myself, it just means that that's that much of more of an important point. So definitely pay attention to it. But yeah, guys, this video is gonna be pretty exciting to make. Hopefully it won't be too long for you guys. I'll be sure to leave timestamps down in the description below in case this video gets a little bit too long and you guys want to make sure that you guys watch specific parts maybe twice, maybe over again, because there will be a lot of information. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the deck list that me and my teammates used to take down the first ever global Cardfight Vanguard Zero team tournament. All right, guys, here we are. This is the deck that I decided to play for the Cardfight Vanguard Zero tournament. It is Kagero. It is my favorite deck right now, this format to play, so I was really excited that my teammates let me use this. I will say right now that we had to all play different clans for this tournament. That was a part of the rules of being in a team tournament. By the way, for those that don't know, me and my teammates Landon and Eric, we've actually been on a real-life Cardfight Vanguard team before in several different iterations, so we know a thing or two about preparing for tournaments like this, and we played against people who have never played in team tournaments before, so that kind of, I guess, gave us an unfair edge in the preparation department for this tournament, because we understood kind of what it meant to be like, okay, we all need to play different stuff. We all need to make sure that we can beat the other stuff that we're expecting to play, stuff like that. But with the set 1 format being very constrained as it is, that wasn't like that in depth of a thing for people to figure out, but hopefully we didn't get that much of a big unfair advantage by playing in many team tournaments before this in real life. But you know what? We did prepare for the best that we can, and this is the deck that me and my teammates came up with for me. As you guys can see, it's not very triple rared out, other than having the 3 Blazing Flare Dragons is my highest copy. It's actually the highest copy of triple rares that I own is the Blazing Flares. I only own 2 Overlord and I only own 2 Blockades, so I knew that I had to run with only those in the deck, but it kind of gave me freedom to run extra cards like Goku and Exile Dragon, which honestly have become MVPs for me in the Kagero deck. So these are actually really, really powerful cards. Let me just go over kind of what Exile Dragon does in case you guys don't know what this card does. He basically is a 1-for-1, so when he's on the rearguard circle, you can retire him to retire another one of your opponent's grade 3 units. This is really good for proccing abilities like Joka, or of course Blazing Flare Dragon's rearguard effect to gain power and help you get better columns against 11k Vanguards, or even make 21k columns with bar as well, which is really nice. Other than that, the deck's pretty straightforward. Having all these options in my deck allowed me to really tackle the matchups in the way that I wanted to. I kind of built this as a more resource-based kind of Kagero deck, more so than an aggressive-based Kagero deck. It's also very similar to the list that I've been playing on ladder for the past like week or so. So it's really, really good at achieving an advantage over your opponent, both in board and in damage, because with all the power boosts you gain, with all the just free power and free retires you can get out of nowhere, you can really just overrun your opponent with advantage. And that's what I really like about this deck. This deck kind of gets ahead and then it stays ahead, is a really big thing that we talked about. My worst matchup, I think, is actually Granblue, because if you don't run 4 Blockade, you actually don't really beat Granblue as much as maybe people think you do. Blockade really is the only card you need in that matchup, but it's also kind of the card you need in that matchup. So if you don't see it, you don't see it and you don't get it. I actually toyed around with running the grade 3 Searcher over Conroe for a while, because I really just wanted to pick and choose what grade 3s I got to play, but I decided that Conroe is just too good, especially in the mirror match. Conroe Wars is a thing. That's why we play Tejas. And so being able to kind of just make sure that you can get this free perfect guard, this free booster, is really nice. I realized early on in this meta that boosters are literally the most important thing in the world. And so with cards like Kimnara and Goku just constantly harassing boosters, you can really take advantage of any matchup you play just by killing all their boosters. Because think about it this way, you know, there's only 39 cards in their deck. 13 of those cards are grade 1s that can boost, and then 4 of those cards they don't want to commit because they're perfect guards. So there's only 9 grade 1s in the deck that they can actually commit to board. The rest of the deck is just attackers. And if you ride Overlord, and if you kill all their boosters or they don't have any, most of the time they don't have that many units that can hit an Overlord unboosted. So it was a really nice just like way for me to kind of just get a free turn out of opponents sometimes, just by killing their boosters and them not having any more. So I really like the way that this deck played. It performed very well for me. I definitely could have gone undefeated in this tournament, but I ended up going 4-1, which I really much regretted because of a terrible misplay that I did, but it didn't end up biting me because my teammates carried me to the next round, and then I never lost the game after that. So I really do like this deck. Hopefully I can see a better iteration of this good stuff Kagero kind of list once set 2 rolls around. But for now, this is probably one of the best versions of decks that exist in the format right now. Next up is Eric's deck. I'll go ahead and leave a picture of him somewhere. Whop. Here is his list that he used to take down this tournament. It is kind of a good stuff Paladins list, but it's way different than probably any other deck you guys are going to see in Paladins right now. It's actually a Soul Saver Dragon good stuff Paladins list. Hopefully I can do a good job of explaining this. So there's really 2 versions of Royal Paladins right now that people are playing. There's Soul Saver Dragon, which plays like the Barkle engine. I played other cards that can soul charge, as well as like King of Knights Alfred and Alfred early, so that way you can have a backup strategy in case your Barkle gets sniped, or in case you just don't get enough soul fast enough, stuff like that. But that list suffers a lot to Kagero because they can snipe the Barkle and then they can just ruin your whole Soul Saver based strategy. The second version of the deck is basically good stuff Paladins, or vanilla Paladins, basically that just plays Alfred early, 4 Palamedes, 4 Gancelot, and like 1 or 2 King of Knights Alfred. That's like the best version of the deck, right? That most popular. It plays like stand triggers every now and then, stuff like that. we hate both those decks because one of them loses to Barkle, and then the other one feels like at times it just doesn't do anything unless it checks a stand trigger, which we don't want to rely on stand triggers to win a best of one format type of tournament, which this tournament was. The way a team tournament works is that you have 3 members on a team. They each play the corresponding 3 members on another team, and then whoever gets 2 wins for that team first wins. So if I play player A and I won, that's a point for us. If Eric plays player B and he loses, that's a point for them. If Landon plays player C and he wins, that's 2 points for us. We win that round. We move on to the next round. It's single elimination. Boom. Those were the rules of the tournament. So that's how we thought about building these decks. We wanted to build these decks for best of one style tournaments because that's basically what this was. We each had 3 best of 1 games, and then the first team to win 2 of those games moved on to the next round. So this deck we wanted to make sure was 2 things: consistent and powerful. When we hear consistency, we hear draw triggers, we hear cards like Ganslot, we hear Superior Calling. So we made sure that Ganslot and draw triggers were in the deck. When we wanted to hear powerful, we first thought that the vanilla Paladins list was the most powerful one, because having Palamedes and 21k columns and stand triggers just is that strong right now because it's really consistent. However, we decided that it just wasn't good enough without the stand triggers, and in a best of 1 scenario, if you have to rely on a stand trigger to win the game, it's just not going to end very well for you. So we decided to look at Soul Saver Dragon, who can gain power consistently. Like if you get off Soul Saver Dragon, you can become very aggressive very consistently. So we started off with that, and Eric wanted to really make sure that Soul Saver Dragon was working against Kagero. So we decided to, instead of including a Barkle engine in the deck, he decided to play this card, Lohengrin. So let me show you what Lohengrin does really quick. This is what Lohengrin does here. It's Demon Slaying Knight Lohengrin. Vanguard. At the start of your main phase, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets power plus 2k until end of turn. So he's the Mega Blaster for Royal Paladin. Vanguard Rearguard. When this unit attack hits, Soul Blast 6, Counter Blast 4 to retire all of your opponent's rearguards. This card basically was the engine that Eric used to achieve his soul. Because for those that don't know, Soul Saver Dragon's effect is actually a Vanguard Rearguard effect, and you don't need to actually achieve it on the turn you ride it. It can be achieved as an act skill. So it's also a fun fact, it's a Soul Blast 4. So by having Lohengrin as his Vanguard, Eric can get a steady supply of soul no matter what matchup he played against. He was particularly afraid of Kagero because they're the only deck that can stop the Barkle engine from actually achieving the soul charging goal of the deck. So by having Lohengrin in the deck, he actually had a consistent way to soul charge, as well as a backup plan in case he played against a mirror match or something like that. In testing, Eric was actually, through using Lohengrin and using other skills like Pawn Goal and stuff like that, he was able to achieve Soul Saver twice in games, which honestly, the more I say it out loud, the more busted that just is in this game right now, because that's 2 turns where triggers do not matter in terms of beating your opponent's face. And if one of those turns is them at 5 damage, they need 3 PGs to survive, which is just crazy. So I really like this strategy that Eric came up with. When I first saw it, I was like, but Eric, you can't use both the skills. And he's like, I know, but I have options. And in fact, he misplayed once or twice and actually tried to use both the skills, and he actually failed. It was pretty funny, but that was in testing, so it didn't matter. So yeah, that was the kind of main strategy of the deck. The rest of the deck revolves around just being a good Royal Paladin kind of core of cards, as well as just having good stuff. So as you can see here, Eric only has 3 Ganslot. So he decided to play the 4th Alfred early as the last slot. Honestly, I don't think it ever came up for him. It should have been a Ganslot, but he didn't have one. So there you go. This deck is not maxed out. Next up, he played 4 Blaster Blade, 4 Galatine, 3 11k attacker, and 2 Akane. So this is different. Normally it's 4 11k attacker, but he wanted to make sure that he had some other advantage engine in the deck besides draw triggers. So he added the extra Akane, which can come in clutch too, thanks to Pongo being, I believe, free in this game. So that's really awesome. Akane is basically an extra soul charge, or it's just an extra unit on board, which you can never go wrong with. It also allows you to make magic numbers with Palamedes against 10k Vanguards, which is really, really nice. So yeah, guys, that was Eric's Royal Paladin deck list. Everything else about the deck list is pretty standard in terms of, like, Alien is just a really good card for filtering. Marin is the AK, and then Blaster Blade's really good. So this deck was really, honestly, super surprising in testing, and barring a couple of really unlucky moments where his opponent 6 damage healed, Eric probably would have gone undefeated. Eric, I think, got 6 damage healed against twice in this tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely first round, and then I think the last round, something happened where, like, he just could not kill his opponent because his opponent, like I think got like 2 defensive draw triggers and then like crit him for a game or something like that. So it was very, very unlucky for him. in terms of those 2 rounds, but every other round that he won, I believe he won super convincingly. I remember like, I remember telling him like, dude, no one's gonna know what you're trying to do. Like if you don't see Bark Goal and you don't see Pawn Goal too early, like you don't think they're playing Soul Saber. Like this deck could be any kind of deck. And then you have the Lohengrin just standing there like, okay, let me just go ahead and do this weird thing that you did not see coming. So Eric went 3-2 regrettably, despite this amazing deck list that he built. But I'm putting that up to luck. I think Eric would have definitely gone 4-1 if it wasn't for that first round 6 damage heal, for sure. I think he played it perfectly every time he described to me what happened. I know Eric. Eric is one of the best players I've ever known at this game. Like in real life Vanguard, I used to always say that he's better than me in the way that he thinks about the game. So I'm really just appreciating that I had someone with this kind of skill level, this kind of knowledge of the game on my team. Thank you, Eric, for being an amazing team member. I love you, buddy. All right, guys. This is the last deck that we had on our team. We had Nova Grapplers. We actually were allowed to have a 4th team member on the squad as an alternate, but we had no clue what deck to have that person play. So we just decided that, you know what, we were just gonna be the big 3 and we're not gonna need a 4th person because we're gonna show up to the tournament. So here is Landon's deck. I'll put a picture of him on screen. He's an amazing duder. And here it is. It's pretty much it's a pretty standard kind of good stuff Nova's deck right now. I think if he had it his way, he would have ran 1 more Ashura Kaiser, 1 more Cosmo Lord. That's about it, probably was all he needed. Maybe 1 more Death Army lady and Death Army guy. I could have seen him wanting that. But he played kind of a greedier version of this deck than maybe I would have played. I remember telling him like 4 Transrazor is definitely better than the Army series, but he wouldn't hear it. You know, Len is the kind of guy that definitely is like, I'm going to play the deck the way that I want to, and I'm going to get the wins that way. And you know what? I can't fault him for that. He found an explanation for every single card and why it was in the deck. So as long, like, I have a rule when it comes to playtesting and, you know, making a deck for Vanguard. If you can explain to me why the card's in the deck, it belongs in there. And, you know, it doesn't need to make sense to me. It just needs to be a good explanation. It doesn't need to make sense to me. If you can validate it, then you can validate it. As you guys can see, he's not playing any gold root tile, which some people would look at that and be like, that's really bad. I look at it and I go, you know what? I think it's really good because you honestly being on gold root tile in terms of a defensive standpoint is really bad. Me and him had the argument that being on Ashura Kaiser is always better than being on gold root tile. Not because you can get guaranteed restands or because you have to be lucky to get restands, but because of the defensive power. But because of the defensive power of being on an 11k Vanguard in this meta. There's only 2 decks that have 11k Vanguards. Kagero and Nova Grappler. So if you force your opponent to always have to get over 11k numbers, you can really just up your defensiveness by like tenfold. You can get away with turns where they don't even attack you. It's kind of spooky. So yeah, I really enjoyed having that. Plus, me and him kind of had the assurance that, you know, triggers are how you win this game, right? So if you're gonna need to high roll to win some games anyway, you may as well just mega win them by playing kind of a high rolly type deck. And in the best of 1 format, I can definitely get on board with that. You know, I'm definitely not the kind of guy that says build your strategy around triggers. However, if you get a trigger and your strategy blows up, if you do get one, that's a pretty good thing for me to see, for sure. So playing a deck like Ashura Kaiser with the consistency of Lion Heat, Cosmo Lore, Death Army guys, Kiraras, and Transfers behind it, I could see that working really, really well. So while his main strategy of winning the game was a little bit luck-based, his overall way he played the deck, his overall way that he achieved his columns, his overall way that he built the supporting units, very, very consistent. So he has like this little cherry of luck on top of this gigantic sundae of consistency. And of course, he's a badass, so he'll just win the game no matter what he plays anyway. Like that's just the kind of guy he was. He was the only member of our team who went undefeated the entire day. So you know what? You cannot argue with his results. You can't argue with the way that he thought about the deck, and you definitely cannot argue with how well he did. For sure. If I had it my way, I would cut a King of Sword and maybe the Brutal Jack for the 4 Transrazors. But other than that, though, I think this deck is pretty perfect for right now in the standard meta. If you guys don't want to play Ashura Kaiser, you can just play Gold Root Tile and the deck will work very well still. Ashura Kaiser is not necessary, but it was by far the best part about the deck for him, for sure. Also, playing 9 draws really busted, by the way. I wanted to point that out. We talked about running stands or crits for a while, but we just decided that, you know what, 9 draw for all of us is the best way to go. We're not going to try and sack our opponents in terms of getting specific triggers to win the game. We just want to make sure that we can achieve our deck's winning image the best way possible. And the best way to do that is through card advantage. And the only trigger that can actually generate real hard card advantage is draw triggers. So that's what we played. That's what we decided. So yeah, guys, that was it for our deck list, as well as kind of like a little bit of a flash crash course as to how we thought about the meta for set 1. I'm going to go ahead and go into a more direct analysis of the set 1 meta right now. All right, guys, so here we are in the card overview section of Cardfight Vanguard Zero. Since set 1 is coming to an end and set 2 is quickly on the horizon, coming out this Friday, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little overview of the best cards in set 1, as well as kind of how that affected our decision-making process in terms of picking our decks, in terms of what decks to test against, and in terms of what to actually care about when it comes to actually building our list. I kind of briefly touched on some of those things in the deck list portion of this, but I'm going to go ahead and get really into specifics right now. First things first, the best starter for each clan. Best starter for each clan. Great Researcher for Royal Paladins, easy. The reason why is because Bark Gull, while yes, really free cards, is really nice. He forces you to play triggers that aren't that good in this format, in my opinion. Draw triggers are by far the best triggers to play, and being forced to run at least 1 or 2 of them just to get off some kind of potential big soul charge combo isn't worth it to me. Also, with a deck like Kagero, Bark Gull can become literally useless. So having a card like Mr. What's his name? Liberal Gall is really good because he can A, filter out a grade 3 that you want to ride, or B, get a Gancelot, which then goes back into deck and gets you a grade 2 / an Interceptor. So he's basically a grade 2 searcher too at certain times, which is really, really strong. Also, he goes in the soul, which is great. Another thing that I should mention too about him is that if he dies, you don't really care. So, really like that a lot about him. Next up is Kagero. Obviously, Kagero is the best starter, no questions asked, not even gonna bother touching on why. Nova's honestly the only one that's really good is, of course, the Battle Razor. If you do play stand triggers, obviously it's a 4th stand trigger or 5th stand trigger or whatever, how many ever you play. Also, he's a free draw card. Plus, he's just a really good forerunner. He's the only forerunner the deck has that actually generates advantage. My IO, while it is the grade 3 searcher for this deck, isn't really needed because all the grade 3s and Novas are pretty okay to ride. And then Lionette is just bad. For Oracle Think Tank, obviously the best one is Losange Magus. Having access to 5 heal triggers is literally busted, and I've been 6 damage heals against OTT more than any other deck, and this is probably why. So, yeah, best one, no questions asked. And finally, Grand Blue. Weirdly enough, the best one is Night Spirit. You would think a card like Guiding Zombie, which kind of adds to the main strategy of putting cards in the drop zone, is better, but no, man. Night Spirit's really good because A, he adds to your soul, which can help Basker. B, he is necessary for you to get an awesome superior ride through the bustedness of Spirit Exceed, which is just crazy how this card's actually good now. As well as just being a nice little way to get free numbers against stuff, because you do get 14k attackers, which then can hit 21 with a 7k booster. You do get access to cards like Basker, which can Soul Blast and do more things. This is a 13k attacker that can hit 16 once you do that. So it's actually a really neat card, and probably the best starter for Grand Blue for a while. So that's pretty awesome. Until maybe Night Kid comes out. I don't know what Night Kid does, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be busted. So for Royal Paladin, I said earlier that the list Eric came up with, that I helped improve, which was the Lohengrin Soul Saver list, is probably the best way to play Royals right now. I think I said that. If I'm not, I'm saying it now. However, I would say the most impactful version of the deck is just Alfred good stuff. You know, just playing Alfred early at like a 3-of and then 1 or 2 King of Knights Alfred is probably the best way to play it right now, even though, in my personal opinion, King of Knights Alfred is so bad. If they made him Counterblast 2 in this game, he would have been exponentially better. But no, he's just a 10k. He gets you have to commit 5 cards to board just to get 20k on your Vanguard. You have to then, when all you need to do is commit 2 cards to get Palamedes and Toipagol up to 22. I don't understand. As well as his Counterblast 3 is almost never used because you almost always want to use Blaster Blade once or twice by using Alfred early to get really big advantage over your opponent. So even though I believe a card like King of Knights Alfred is useless, I don't even have any, thank goodness. You know, you should not. I don't agree with maybe the way Royal Paladin's being played right now. But that is the most impactful version. 1 or 2 stand triggers is really good. I will say though, the best card in Royal Paladin is obviously Gancelot. This card is just too good. If you ever want to play MLB in the future, you need to pick up 4 of this. I'm actually 1 short. I might be crafting my last one pretty soon here, so that's gonna be pretty awesome for me. The best deck for Novas is obviously the Ashura build. I think the best way to play it though is gonna be like 2 2 to 3 Ashura and then like 1 to 2 Rutile as your main vanguards, and then having Lion Eat and Death Metal Droid in the back, or of course having Cosmo Lords if you have access to them. Obviously, I think Cosmo Lord and Death Metal Droid could be swapped between each other, but if you have both, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't play both. Backup would probably be the best version of the deck is like the budget version, which is just Rutile, Lion Heat, Death Metal Droid, and the occasional, you know, the sneaky one of Cosmo Lord that you pulled in your rerolls. You know, that's the best way to play it, I think, for budget. And it's also the best budget deck. So Novas is a really powerful deck because it just like can blow up your opponent and gain tons of advantage through using 9 draws, or through having the occasional stand trigger, which gives you extra retires essentially on your opponent's rear guards, / dealing them damage, which is really nice to accelerate the game state and get it to a place where you're in the late game. And in the late game, you're really, really powerful as a deck. So I really like Nova Leopard right now. It's probably the best deck besides Kagero to use on ladder because it just is so explosive that you can just get wins really quickly, which is really nice. Next up is OTT. The only version of the deck that I know about is Amaterasu, Apollon, Tom. So you like with like Sakuya as a 14k attacker on Vanguard every now and then as well. And the idea is that you just get your opponent to a place where Tom can achieve a gigantic win condition. You use cards like Apollon and Lazarus Magus to return triggers back to your deck. You use cards like Meteor Break Wizard and Amaterasu and Sakuya to hit really good columns against your opponent on grade 3. And then you just get them to a point where they lose to Silent Tom because they cannot guard against this attack. That's the only deck list that I know about that exists for this deck, and it's the most impactful. It's also the best one. But no, not to worry, guys. Once Tsukuyomi comes out, that'll be the best version of the deck, and it'll probably be the best deck in the format as well. So while this deck may not be making the biggest impact on the format as of right now, that will definitely change in the coming months for sure. No, coming days, not even 20 months. Finally, well, I still have Grand Blue, but this is the best deck in the format, Kagero. I'm not being biased. This is the best deck in the format. The grade 3s and all the strategies that Kagero has right now is just so powerful. And there's so many lists popping around on ladder. You know, there's All Leaf builds, there's Blazing Flare Superior Ride builds, there's Mono Blockade Beat Stick, there's Goku Advantage good stuff. You know, there's all kinds of decks for this clan on the ladder right now. It's just insane. My favorite version, though, is the version that I showed you guys. It's basically the Kagero Toolbox, or the Kagero Good Stuff build, where you play, like, these are your main grade 3s right here: Blazing Flare, Blockade, Overlord, and Goku. And then you have awesome attackers or rear guards that do other effects like Exile Dragon or Dual Axe Arc Dragon. That is definitely the best version because you can adapt to the way your opponent tries to play against you, which I feel like this is the only deck in the game that can actually change its playstyle. You know, like early game, I could be calling nothing and just retiring your whole board, or just grinding out until I have enough cards to then bum rush you in the late phases of the game with 3 attacks until you die. Or you can go aggressive from the very beginning, spamming the board with cards like Joka, Flame Edge, and Berserk Dragon to get really good columns and Soul Charge. That way, the late game you can use Blazing Flare skill to get really good magic numbers with Joka and stuff like that. So this deck just has so many ways to play right now that it's just really oppressive and really strong and really good for the kind of player that can kind of adapt in the middle of a game and change up its play style. So I really like the way that plays. The deck list that I showed earlier, I think, is the most optimal deck list right now, especially if you don't have all the cards. You know, like I only have 2 and 2 of these guys. If you had 4 of this and like 4 of this, like, I guess in theory it's better to play 4, 4, 4, and 1 Goku for the same kind of idea of the deck. However, playing cards like Exile and Dual Axe do help in terms of just your generic consistency, which I think is really good. I will say though that being on an 11k Vanguard against Nova Grappler is really strong. I'm just gonna say this right now. This is my ideal ride against Novas because they have to always boost, and if they're not playing Cray Soldier, it's just so good. And finally, Grand Blue, you know, the most impactful version of the deck is, of course, Exceed, Baskirk, and Nightmare and Ruin Shade are just really good cards. Being able to consistently get intercepts every single turn, while occasionally having really good defensive power, especially early in the game when you ride a freaking 11k grade 2, is really strong. Other than that, the deck is really obviously, you know, lacking a lot of support. Once more support comes out for this deck, though, who knows what it will be able to accomplish. I'm kind of nervous actually of like how good this deck might be once more support like the Limit Break Kaitis or God forbid 7 Seas comes out. That'd be pretty crazy to see as well. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for kind of like the overall meta overview for set 1 that we definitely took into consideration. The 3 best decks in our minds were Novas, Royals, and Kagero. Our worst matchup as a whole, My least favorite matchup was Royal Paladin, because I don't know what it is about Royal Paladin. Whenever I play against them playing Kagero, I just feel like they always get everything they need to like not care about my advantage. And I played them twice in tournament, and I was really nervous to lose because like it's just the one matchup that I'm just like super worried to face. Eric's was definitely Kagero because he just hated playing that deck as Soul Saver Dragon, but I think he played against it twice, and he said that our changes really did help him. So hopefully that changed his mind. It was more that he won against it. And then Landon kind of didn't have a favorite of like a least favorite matchup, but I think he hated the mirror the most because the mirrors always suck. And I think he played that only twice. So Landon was definitely by far the most comfortable going into this tournament. But through the testing and through kind of how we thought about the meta and our actual deck list, we were very confident with how we were going to win. And again, then we ended up winning. So it was super awesome. So guys, we're going to go ahead and take a little detour now. We're going to go check out the VOD that I made over on Twitch of me playing the actual rounds. And I'm going to provide live commentary for those games right now. All right, guys, here we are. This is the VOD that I have over on Twitch. If you guys want to go watch the whole thing of the entire stream, it's down in the links below. But really quickly, let me go ahead and talk about my round one really fast because it was really easy to get out of the way. I had a no-show. My opponent did not show up, so I got a free win. That's it. We take free wins, you know. It feels kind of bad, man. My team, our team that we played that we played against actually didn't do the best job of registering every single person in their squad. I was supposed to play against their alternate, but their alternate was not registered on their roster, so therefore they could not play. So they unluckily got that automatic 1-round loss. But their leader actually beat Eric, so all they needed to do was beat Landon, and they still could have moved on to the next round. However, Landon obviously kicked their butt. So that was round one for us. We moved on with flying colors. Here is round two for your boy. As you guys can see, I have a little nice try XD thing down there. It's because I was streaming this live, you guys, so I wanted to make sure that no one could stream snipe me. Obviously, it'll make it hard for me to reflect on my plays because I don't remember what my hand was at this point, but I'll be reflecting as to what I'm doing on the board, and I'll probably be making an assumption about what my hand must have been like, because knowing me, I can probably take a guess as to what was in my hand for all these games. I'll also be pausing it at certain points, so that way my voice is not overlapping with what this big stupid goofus is saying up here. So yeah, let's for now just watch and enjoy. Okay, we're fine. His first round's against Royal Paladin. Yes, he's playing the good. I remember saying out loud that he's playing the good starter, so good on him, man. Good on playing. Liberal is definitely my favorite starter right now for this deck, and I think any person who actually plays it in a tournament or on ladder and isn't like farming is literally a hardcore Royals player. So definitely respect anyone that plays this card. Good starter, yeah, good for him. Okay, we got a serious Royal player here. That's the good starter. Also, I don't know what was happening with my actual screen recorder for my iPad, but I don't know what it is, but my gameplay just looks so dark to me, and I don't know what happened there with that. I'll probably work on that to make it a little bit more crisp for you guys in future streams. Lake Maiden Ride, pretty solid. So far, pretty standard start, nothing crazy. Like, look how serious I look right now. Look at my stupid thinking face. Boosters though, not fun. I look so stupid like that. Oh my god. I'm gonna be commenting my face the whole time, not even on the game. Okay, so there's a normal bar ride, Conroe. I always like putting Conroe in the back because I'm just like used to it now. Because like if I'm ever playing in the mirror match, I know to put it in the back because if I ever do want to ride Blockade Inferno and they ride Overlord, I know that I'm gonna need the booster. And sometimes I don't use Conroe. Sometimes I don't. In those moments, I tested against Royal Paladin the most yesterday. I'm just gonna say that I'm most afraid of the Royal match. I know a lot of people that put him to the side. I'm like, I don't really approve of that. Okay, he's playing. You're not gonna use him to boost the rear guard. I know what deck he's playing. You either use his ability or you don't, right? Good stuff, Paladin. If you don't, I'd rather have a free Vanguard booster than a free rear guard booster. He's playing. There's the Blast Dark. I was like so nervous that he was gonna use the effect. I was like, wait. 1 damage, not 2. I bet you this does come in clutch for him like every now and then, because being able to kill any kind of rear guard. Nah, I definitely should have said that. That's a good line. Good thing I didn't rush him. He's rushing me actually, which I don't agree with this man, because if I just got a trigger, which I did right there, now he's forced to get. Yep. I'm probably saying it up there. Yep. Not looking good, guys. Don't do that, man. Don't rely on a trigger. But then he got it, so I'm like, F me, right? And then it's like, oh, and then that happened too. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I was so embarrassed when that happened. I accidentally click the sleep button, and it's like, oh no, you're not here. I'm here. Don't worry. Don't worry. But I was like so nervous about that heal trigger because that's a really good swing for him, both offensively and defensively. That 6 heal took me for a ride. It really does put him in the advantage seat right now. So while he did make a bad play, he was not punished for it. So that's a little disheartening. Activate Conroe's skill. Go ahead and grab. Here we go, just doing standard stuff. from the Bari. I think in this game I ended up with like 3 Baris at the end of it. That's pretty cool. In my last round, I'm gonna tell you right now, I had 4 Baris in my hand. That was nutty good. 4 Baris, man. It was so good. I go after this because I don't really care about Libergal's effect. I'd rather not him not have a good booster. Because like I said, guys, boosters are the most important resource in this game right now. Boosters are the most important resource in this game. I will repeat it again. So
that's
good.
An amazing turn for me.
They are so good. Like the Flame Edge. Having Flame Edge Dragon in conjunction with Blazing Flare Dragon, guys, is such good synergy, man. I'm so happy I decided to put that card in my deck. It's such a good card with Blazing Flare Dragon. I think I've used Blazing Flare Dragon twice before, not in this tournament, but I've definitely done it before. And there's King of Knights.
He's playing good stuff, Paladins.
Keep that card. Bad card. Don't play it.
Scary than the version of the deck.
He never uses his skill. Not once, I don't think.
Blaster Blade. He is interesting.
Yep.
Flame Edge, of course. Is he calling?
It may as well be an outfit early, guys.
He doesn't use its effect. Interesting.
Him hitting 18 is no different than him hitting 18 with the boosted Marin.
He can't boost with the
I think I remember saying like Marin. Why even have Marin in the back row if you're just gonna have him not boost with it? You know what I mean?
Like, it's kind of a...
I think I remember saying that. I think I'm saying it right now. That's so funny. I can't hear what I'm saying in this video, but you guys can. That's why it's really funny. I haven't gotten a
single trigger yet. I got a heal trigger that was wasted. Oh, there we go.
I get a heal trigger. That's a big swing for sure.
In my favor, but I don't have...
I think in only one of these rounds I got like super lucky. I cannot wait till the misplay round. I'm gonna be like talking about that misplay for like 10 minutes. It was such a bad misplay. Not in this game. It's in the next game, I think.
Very good top deck.
I didn't get any other attackers this turn. I'm probably only clutching on to like 3 PGs and a booster. It's probably what my hand is, and I don't want to commit the booster for no reason.
They're kind of useless. They're
because stuff like this happens. So I'd rather just get like a consistent 2 damage this turn more than anything else.
And next turn,
but yeah, Blockade's a really good ride for me here for sure.
Striking the PGs out of his hand, which he doesn't have many. And my hand, guys, is very defensive. I have a lot of cards in my hand that are really good. I'll just say that.
Look at my hair. Look at how my hair just peeks out of my hat, guys. Oh, that looks so bad. It looks so bad.
They were playing for at least 4 movements before I was, so wow.
Okay.
It's looking pretty good here.
So this is an interesting play my opponent made. Like they moved their instant back for a better attacker. I like it.
I'm gonna assume
the aggression, right? But like,
I think he's
it's just 230 attack, right? Like if you don't get a trigger, I don't need to get a trigger to stop all those attacks. So he's gonna replace it with a booster. I hope.
A Palamedes. That's not a Ganslot. That's huge.
Or he'll. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's this game. He moves it back and calls another Palamedes. It's the same thing though. It's just having the interceptor, but then he goes to Torpedo. Okay, cool.
Very good play.
Way better play.
Let's see if we get the defensive.
Getting a guaranteed just 2 attacks. It gets damage trigger. Doesn't really matter actually. It just now for him to get a 3rd attack, he needs to get a trigger, which I don't think he does.
That's definitely 2 PGs gone. That's
also, I make note here that that's 3 PGs gone from my opponent. I definitely think that note is 1 damage zone and 2 is drive check. So now I know he has only 1 maximum in his hand. Always keep track of that stuff, guys.
I don't want to.
There's a log down there at the bottom because you can keep track of that stuff, but you can't keep track of drive checks though. So be sure to pay attention to what cards your opponent drive checks because they go to the bottom of the deck and they can't get them. Really big deal.
Can I top deck a Berserk?
He does deal me all the damage that he wants to deal me this turn, which is very impressive. And he gets rid of my Blazing Flare, so I'm in a bit of a pickle in terms of offensive pressure.
I can call that.
Hopefully we can get some offensive pressure going in our favor.
He could have 0 PGs in his hand, you know what I mean? Like he could have 0 PGs in his hand. So
I'm just debating what call in front of that. Yeah.
I'm gonna play for him.
I'm also debating whether or not I should use the skill or defense zone because it's not going to get a magic number. There's no point in killing 2 grade 3s that aren't going to kill, especially when I have 3 PGs in my hand and I can guarantee with the turn, especially by having my intercept.
He gets the defensive, but not
he gets the heal, doesn't go off. But now both my attacks don't activate anyway.
Damage this turn.
So I'm just forced to swing with regards, which is really nice. Actually, I probably would have swung at one of them for sure.
And I have an intercept.
Definitely the one boosted by Torpedo in this scenario.
And I'm killing 2 Palamedes this turn, which I believe is his 4th Palamedes. Is there one in here? There is. That's 4 Palamedes.
What I'm wondering right now probably
with Torpedo. And he can't use King of Knights either, but he can't call a Blaster Blade.
I'm probably worried about that right now.
And get rid of my
if he has a Blaster Blade, he could push me with 3 attacks. Would be very good. However, like you guys can't tell, but I know that the way I'm playing, I have 3 PGs in my hand. If I didn't, I'd be much more worried up there, and I'm not worried at all. There's the Blaster Blade, which I was worried about. But he called it over there. Sorry, guys, I didn't understand. Like, unless he forced him another booster, like, used to it. I would have just put it over there by Torpedo.
But he's just baiting on.
But he has that, which again I don't understand because one of those. Yeah, exactly. Now he's forced to replace. That was definitely a misplay by my opponent for sure.
He's just
I didn't
banking
even
on me
realize
not
that
having
back
3
in
PGs.
the actual game.
But I
I
hate
know
to break
that.
it to you,
'Cause,
boy.
like,
I do have
he
the
could just call
3
blast
PGs,
it by
and he revealed no
Torpedo
stand triggers,
and then
so I win this
Alfred
game, I
or
think, guys.
Galatine even, and then had 2
As long as he
interceptors.
get, like, as
I know
long as
that
don't
they're
get
useless
trigger
because I
stack by
have
his last 2
blockade,
kills
but like it's still better
this
than
turn.
nothing.
But I
If
still
I
get
want to
to
rewrite
do some
anything,
damage to him potentially next turn.
it's still worth having great 2s in your front row. And there's his 4th PG, guys. We also know his hand deck as well. But now we know that we know that the card he drew is not a PG, so we know he has 0 PGs in his hand, and I had 3, so we're chilling. So now it's my turn.
PG, I know it.
And that was an example of just like how sometimes when you play with Kagero, you just overrun your opponent and you just get super ahead of them, especially if they make bad plays. Like I definitely think my opponent could have made better plays in terms of their sequencing of columns, sequencing of calls, and sequencing of attacks. There's like a whole bunch of sequencing problems for sure. But man, I think I played this game pretty perfectly. I only got 1 lucky kill trigger. My opponent, I think, got 1 as well, so we're pretty even on that. I don't think I checked any other triggers though that whole game.
PG, man.
So like, I'm very impressed I was able to win that actually, given how unlucky I got. But yeah, guys, that's it for game 1.
Boys.
That's it for round 2. Okay, guys, that's it for round 2. Let's go ahead and head over to round.
I'm gonna go
3.
put the roster. We won first round and.
Okay, guys, that's it for round 2. Let's go ahead and 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys, that's it for round 2. Let's go ahead and head over to round 3.
I'm okay with that.
All right, guys, here we are in round 3. This is the first Kagero mirror match that I have. The day I played 2 Kageros and 2 Royal Paladins as my finals. And this one I actually get to see my hand, so that's really good. This is probably one of the best hands I've ever seen in my life. My favorite, combination of cards in this game is 2 grade 1s, 2 grade 2s, and a grade 3. Sometimes 3 grade 1s. If one of them's a PG and then 2 boosters, a grade 2 and a grade 3 is equally good for me. But this is a really busted hand because it lets me be a little bit aggressive in the mirror match, which sometimes I do like to be. But we'll see how I play with this game. I forget kind of how I play this game, but I know that a big misplay happens, and I cannot wait to like talk for 10 minutes about how it literally defines the game.
Sounds good, beautiful. Welcome, pleasure to have you.
How it literally defines the game.
Alright, guys, focus mode. I'm ignoring chat. Starting now. I will
also note here that we're going second. Always, if you're going second as Kagero and you don't have the Tejas in hand, don't control for Conroe. Give them the damage. Because if you don't do that and you don't have the immediate way to answer the Conroe and they just attack you, you're going to give it to them anyway, so you lost a turn of dealing them damage. Okay, I see people all the time who, when they go second, just pass their turn, and then it's my turn, then I hit them, and then they ride, and they don't ride a freaking Tejas. They don't do anything. Now it's your turn. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so, I don't understand that kind of mentality. You're going to do a play that is sometimes not smart unless you can, you're going to try to punish your opponent and fail. That's way worse than just trying to deal them damage. So, in this scenario, I don't have Tejas, so I'm not going to control for it.
Here. He's riding bar, interesting, calling it the rear guard.
No, I can't remember if I draw it or not. Let's find out. I don't think I ever killed the Conroe this entire game. This entire tournament, I should say.
I don't want to be too.
There's the Tejas. So I should, in this scenario, not give them the damage.
Play a lot easier now.
However, I could be stupid and give it to them. Do I do it? No, I don't. Yes, I'm a smart boy. Had I not drawn that Tejas, guys, I would have attacked him. Had I not drawn it, I would have attacked him. Because I don't care if they kill my Tejas, because I kill my Conroe, because if I can't kill theirs, we're still on equal footing.
Yep, he wrote it.
Alright, so there's that. He rides his Tejas, right? So I'm gonna get punished here, but I have my Tejas.
The question is how much damage he gives me on this turn.
So no matter what happens, if you always attack, you'll always be on equal footing.
Very hard.
I think. So he does have it, which means I won't have mine, but that means he won't have his on the following turn.
No punish today.
So it's the same thing.
I wish I could have given that power to Conroe. That'd be very nice. You got the offensive trigger.
There's a Conroe, sorry, a blockade gun, so that's cool.
We can get something here on this home swing.
He's being very aggressive, by the way. I'm just letting y'all know he's being very aggressive. If I just had a Berserk Dragon in my hand, which we know I didn't, I could have super counterpushed. I could have gone ride Nahalem. I could have gone ride Nahalem, call Tejas to the left, call Berserk Dragon to the right, kill Nahalem with Berserk Dragon skill, kill his Berserk with my Berserk, kill Tejas with kill Conroe with Tejas, and then attack his Vanguard with my Vanguard. He'd have 0 board and less cards in his hand than I did, and that's what we call a counter push in Cardfight Vanguard, and that would have been very, very effective at getting me back into this game. But see, all I have here is ride Nahalem, call Tejas, and call Flame Edge Dragon. So I'm still gonna wipe his board, but I'm not gonna deal him a damage. I could have wiped his board and dealt him a damage. I almost forgot to attack the rear guards first. Always attack the rear guards first with Tejas, otherwise it won't go off, obviously.
Hit him for damage.
I also soul charge the PG, which is bad, but it's
unable to
fine.
hit him for damage this turn, which is very frustrating. But I get the advantage swing back in my favor, though, and he has no, like, resources to counteract it, and his board's empty.
And, like, this is what I love about Kagro, you know? Like, Kagro is such an interesting deck to me because these situations come up a lot for me, where I'm, like, 2 damage behind, and, like, they're at 0, right? Or, like, they have, like the turn before, they dealt me 3 damage, and now it's my turn. I will take a turn and deal them 0 damage because most of the time, you guys, when I do this, my opponents either do nothing on the next turn or they're just so shocked that I was able to do that. That they just become even more aggressive and they're like, well, I can just finish them off faster now. I'm like, no, you can't. People rarely think about the late game. You know, they don't think two turns ahead. They think, okay, what can I do right now? It's not really always about what you can do right now. It's always most of the time it's about what you can do later. I'm just saying.
It's pretty nice for us.
So let's see what he does on his turn.
Always. Also, what's going on, Cody? I don't know what's going on here, but what's up? Yo, what's going on, man? This is a Vanguard Zero tournament. Ooh, he rode Overlord. And he called a Blazing Flare Dragon. And he called another grade 2. Wow. His hand is
probably
just
just saying stupid
attackers.
stuff. I don't even know. See, look. Now he has no boosters, guys. Now he has 0 boosters. Because he doesn't have any grade 1s. And now if I chose to road my own Overlord, oof, we'd look so good. But I'm not going to ride Overlord this game. I know that for a fact. I wish I did, though. It would have been so much better.
What's the best way to handle
Just takes his turn, swinging at my rear guards, which is fine,
Yes,
and
that's
swings with his Overlord at my Vanguard. No big deal.
Egg.
I wish I could, like, fast forward to this part. This part's boring.
Utopia and a draw trigger.
He has a draw trigger,
Why
that's
can't you
hype.
check any heal triggers right now, man? That'd be pretty nice.
Can I get over how dumb my hair looks?
I'm at 3 damage
Hair
to
looks
0,
so
which is very
stupid.
bad. Oh, I would have liked that Kimnara. But we should be fine. Okay.
I drew a Bari there, which is really good.
Not the preferred ride in this situation, but it's okay.
Bar is really
I'm
good
just
right
gonna
there,
control
and
the
so
board
it's in
some
Harlem.
more
I'm going to Harlem swing rear guard and then swing. I think I swing Blazing Flare to Blazing Flare, I think. If I'm smart. Yep. Yep, guys. Always just
Like with a
force
heal
him to
trigger or
keep
something.
calling cards down, guys.
That's fine too.
Just keep up that
drawing a heal
grind.
trigger, that's a
Losing that Exile Dragon is
total
bad,
capo,
but
okay.
I will use it later
That
to
makes
get some
sense.
really good value. Technically.
That makes total sense. Okay.
You guys, I cannot wait for you guys to see this play. It's so bad. It's such a bad.
That Berserk Dragon would have been such a good top deck on my turn too. It would have just allowed me to get so much more momentum swing back in my favor. I've never normally been a fan of just controlling for Conroe unless I have the Tejas, but I did have it. Oh man. Okay, guys.
Look,
here we go.
now he can just swing with his Vanguard. Isn't that so? This is such a good turn for us. A turn of 0 damage.
So,
He only killed
momentum
one
swing's
thing.
officially back.
This also kind of informs me that his hand is all PGs, which is bad. But you know what? If it's all PGs, that means he's not going to be pressuring us, and that means the more things I kill, the less things he's going to commit.
in
Super
favor.
good.
It's another draw trigger.
That draw trigger is really bad,
Which is a
but
little
you know
frustrating
we're still
in
ahead.
the
We're
sense
still
that I'm
in the
behind at
place
this
where we
point,
want to be.
very
Now
much
we can
so.
make a comeback,
He's not-
guys. The
he's not-
comeback
he's
starts
damaging
now.
That turn, which is good. I can play catch up here at least.
I drew another heal trigger. Feels bad, man. That's fine.
If I get a trigger,
I'm gonna call it just because I don't need to call anything else.
I don't get to proc Blazing Flare, which is very upsetting.
I sadly also have 0 boosters, so I'm kind of hoping for a trigger here to deal myself 1 point of
no
damage.
trigger.
But
That's
again,
a
I don't
heal.
really need to
Yes,
hit a heal
that is
trigger here,
just
but
what
it's
we need,
really great
Kappa.
that I did. Obviously,
That is a beautiful
it
pause,
gets us
guys.
right back
Drop
to
your
where we want to
steam
be. And
pods
if he whips
Alright,
some defensive
just
here, I
whip
can
the
actually
damage trigger.
swing the
Whip the
damage back
trigger.
over there. I bet you a lot of you guys did not think
Beautiful,
that
guys. Okay, now the
that
damage
swing was
swing's
going to
back in our
happen, but it
favor.
did. And here
Which
we
is
go,
great.
making some
And
good
he
plays.
wrote
Had I
his
had a booster there, ooh, well, actually, would the booster have mattered the more I think about it? I could have given the booster to Nahalem, but then I still would have only gotten 1 more damage. So you know what? The booster wasn't even really needed there. I would have still had to hope for a trigger if I wanted to get an extra attack in. The booster would have been nice because it would have guaranteed the damage, and I wouldn't have to rely on a trigger. But you know what? It didn't matter at all. So it's fine.
He might activate Overlord.
It did not end up mattering.
Mad about? Like, it's a good idea, I guess.
It should matter.
Maybe
It should
low
matter,
on
but it didn't
attackers,
matter.
because that way he can still clear my board, but then he gets 0 advantage.
Now my
and I
opponent
can
does
still
what
try
I
and
think to be
capitalize
one
on
of
stuff. Yeah, call
a
it
pretty good
Gojo.
turn, but a very bad misplay, I think.
Okay.
Does he call a grade 3? He should not call a grade 3 if he has
Activate
one.
the
He
skill.
actually uses the
Just for
Gojo to
another
get rid of a
Gojo.
Gojo for another card, which I do like. I don't like it though on the rear guard one. He should have done it for the Vanguard one, because I'm a big advocate of always attacking with Vanguard first whenever you can, because that lets you get a better idea of what your turn's gonna look like. Obviously, if they have interceptors, you know, you can't do that. But I've been known to attack an interceptor with a Vanguard first, and I do like doing that. So
Calls the Harlem.
You never
Very
know.
Good for him.
So yeah, he just calls the
So he's not swinging. Yeah.
do I keep the Exile Dragon? When
He's gonna
is
attack
the
my rear
play?
guard here.
I'm
I would.
trying to remember when this play
Yeah.
happens.
Good boy.
I forget when it
Get the
does.
heal trigger.
Oh, look,
Nope. Draw trigger's
Steven
fine
Pogs
too.
on my chat right now. I love that emote. That's my
I'm gonna
face.
assume
That's
he
my
has
face.
like one
guys.
draw trigger left because he definitely has like
That's
only
my
one
face.
hand.
He's in the draw trigger, by the way. So I think my opponent's checked like 5 draw triggers this game. That's feels bad, man. Like, I've been doing all this work to like get ahead of him to advantage, and he's just been getting free advantage all the time on me.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, this is the turn. Yeah, this is the turn that I don't like. Yep, here it comes, guys. One of the worst mistakes I've ever done.
I'm gonna do it like this.
Yep.
I gotta get a trigger anyway, but my column's already hitting magic numbers, so all I need is 1. I have like literally 7 in deck, so I have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a trigger on each check. Boom, there it is. Oh no, I gave it to the rear guard like a schmuckhead. No, I gave it to the rear guard because I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm the most stupid person in the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I gave the power to the rear guard. I don't even know why. I honestly cannot tell you if I honestly cannot tell you if I meant to do that or if it was an accident. I honestly do not remember. I just remember thinking instantly, oh yeah, we lost. Like I remember that instantly. Had I pushed him to 5 damage that turn, guys, so much would have been. I could have pushed him to 5 damage. I could have been so ahead in this game. Oh my god, I ended up being so upset with myself after that. I was so upset. But you know what? Like, okay, this is a good thing for me to say to you guys. Okay, so this misplay happens. I will say right now, this misplay cost me this game. However, because I made this misplay, I handled it very well outside of me complaining about it. I complained about it a lot, but the way I chose to play moving forward, I was so focused. Instead of letting this drag me down and making me feel bad and making me feel like I'm the worst player in the world, because in this moment I am, I used it. I used it to fuel myself. It actually gave me determination to play better. I played so well these next 2 games, guys. I cannot wait to show you guys how I destroyed my opponents. But for now, guys, this misplay cost me this game, and we do end up losing it. And the reason why is because my opponent checks a heal trigger on their next turn that they would have drawn had I dealt them an extra damage. That is what happens in this game. I'm done watching it. I don't even want to show you guys the rest of the game that happens. It literally does not matter. Moving on to round 4. All right, guys, here we are in round 4. It's another Kagura mirror match. Time for some redemption. You know, redemption is the name of the game right now. I made a terrible misplay, and it cost me my last mirror match. This is my time. This is where I show you guys what I'm made of as a Kagura mirror match player, right here.
And see this amazing place. By the way, guys, if you
so far,
guys want to check out the Discord server,
we are going
feel
first.
free
So we're
to,
at the Conrad Wars again. Calling it the Conrad of the rear guard. I don't understand that. I don't understand that play at all. I don't see what it does for you. You doing that lets me, if I have a Tejas, call it instead of riding it on my Vanguard. Which, by the way, guys, any chance you get, force your opponent to ride Tejas, because then you get hit with a bar. Just so you know.
Message Almond if you want the
good
link,
aggression.
Or just type in
Good aggression
tournament. I believe that link still works. If it doesn't, I'll fix it in a bit. He's attacking me. Okay, I like that. I like a more aggressive kind of approach to Conroe, especially if my opponent doesn't think I have a Tejas, which I don't at the moment. Ooh, but that could change. Give me a Tejas, please. Oh, dude, if I get a Tejas this turn, I think we just win the game.
So far, this game's pretty standard. Nothing crazy. I don't think I have the Tejas in my hand, so I'd rather just make sure, like I'm okay with giving them Conroe if I get Conroe. Like I said this before, I'll say it again. As long as we're both on equal footing, I could care less. You know, I don't have the ability to punish my opponent, so I'm not gonna try to. I don't even think I boost or call anything else. I think I just swing this turn. If not, I should. I don't know what my hand is, obviously, but I do.
I'm not an aggressive player,
I probably did have like a booster and a grade 2 that I could have called, but it probably didn't hit over 18k, and so I didn't want to commit it if I wasn't going to get guaranteed damage. However, if I had a Flame Edge Dragon in my hand, I probably should have ridden that. But I don't know. But I think the ideal ride in this situation is Flame Edge Dragon, because it lets you get a free soul charge, which then helps you fuel your blazing flares later. That's just a little tidbit here on what could have happened. I'm not sure what my hand is, obviously, but if I had it, I would have used it.
Oh, then the next card was a Tejas. Oh no, I shuffled my deck. Never mind. It was not the next card.
Man, that's a nice card.
SP Berserk.
It's a real nice
Very
card.
sexy. That. I like how it looks like fire.
Fire card.
He wrote his Tejas.
And there he is riding a Tejas. I don't know why he chose to do that. Maybe
he just immediately goes in the main phase. Okay, he does. Okay, good.
Wait,
Duck was
a
the
little
main
easier.
phase. I thought he skipped through battle phase.
I make a stupid thing here where I say where I doesn't
freaking
help
7 a.m. I don't
it
wake
does
up this
help
early.
He just his 18k, not.
So he's gonna be a little aggressive,
Not
but he
14.
needs to hit a trigger, I guess, and bank for me not to get a trigger is his strategy.
And the only reason why I approve of this kind of aggression is because it does give
no,
him
Ryopia,
interceptor.
I'm
But if I ride, obviously, if I ride blockade,
if I ride
negates
triggers
it.
at any point when I have two weird.
But 2 damage is 2 damage, man.
Okay. I do get to access. Ooh, I get to do a lot of fun this turn.
Right there, obviously, if I had a damage trigger, I would have punished him, but I didn't. So it ended up being a good play for him. And then I drew a heal. Dude, I've drawn so many heals this tournament, guys. I think I've drawn 4.
I'm gonna go ahead and call
over only like 3 different games. Pretty crazy.
Go ahead and call
I ride Goku here. Oh yeah.
Dragon.
Here's the question: do I use do I use Berserk skill?
I'm not gonna activate Berserk
I think
skill.
the answer to this question is no. Yes. Good. The reason why I don't do that is because I don't really care too much about Ryopia because I don't really prioritize Vanguard boosters when it comes to retiring. I always prioritize rearguard boosters. That's because you want to limit the number of attacks, and most of the time Vanguards hit anyway. So there's no real point in stopping that unless you can truly stop it or force them to commit another one. I don't believe that me killing that Ryopia will actually do anything for me. Besides, I could kill it for free with Goku. You know. I'm not banking on that happening, but I definitely don't prioritize killing Vanguard boosters with Berserk. So it's kind of a waste of Berserk, but it's fine. I have Kimnara anyway, in case I ever do want to just get rid of it. I think I don't check anything here. I give it heal trigger, which is so cute. I think I give the power to Berserk.
Guys, that's a really good turn for me.
So you guys look right here. Dude, I don't think I've ever swung at a Vanguard with Goku. Because Goku swinging at a rear guard, man, is so good. You can kill 2 things most of the time, which is really nice.
2 more damage out there now, guaranteed.
Really nice. When the third of your deck is triggers, guys, Goku's good.
Soul Charge Contagious, beautiful. Useless card now, pretty much. Guaranteed damage. Alright, he gets a heal trigger, guys.
He gets the heal there, which bounces us back out. But again, guys,
not as great of a turn.
If you guys haven't noticed a trend here, all my Kagero Mew matches, my opponents always have no board. Just saying, that's how you win.
Could have gone, but man, if he would have saved 3 damage, guys, I think we would have been super ahead of this game. Not gonna lie, like super ahead.
Also, by the way, guys, if you didn't know, last round when I lost, I got carried. That's why we're in round 4. So right now, we're in the. I think this is the semifinals. That last round was the quarterfinals. This is the semifinals.
I might choose to.
I believe in this one we all went undefeated. We all won this one. We all went. We went 3-0 for this one because all of our games finished like really similar to each other. Even though we only need to win 2. Once you win 2, you kind of just move on to the next round. But all the games still play out, obviously.
Guys, if we win this, we go to the finals.
You guys Blazing Flare, which is okay. I'm not a big fan of riding him, if I'm being honest with you guys. But if you have to, you have to, right?
Calling it a Tejas, he needs to
calling another Tejas. At this point, I think he's playing 4, which I think is wrong. Sadly, I think 3 is by far the preferred number.
He needs to get as much damage.
There's so many other better grade 2s like Flame Edge Dragon.
Worst comes to worst, he gets an interceptor, right?
Like, look, that thing isn't even hitting. He has no boosters. Nothing's hitting.
But next turn,
my Vanguard is
gonna be
so good,
really hurting his feelings.
And then he whipped the trigger, guys. I walk away with another turn of 0 damage.
I think he kind of deserved
so
one.
good.
Like, I think that's the correct play. That order.
Now obviously I got lucky there, but it's fine. Top deck the blockade, which in this scenario is perfect because I don't need to use Goku anymore. So I'm just gonna ride this blockade, boy.
But I can't really do anything about it.
At least I should.
So like I'm not even gonna be that aggressive.
What are you thinking about, stupid? Like just do it. At this point, like looking back, that's the perfect play, dude. Do it. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I didn't have any other attackers, so that's why I didn't do it. But it's still the correct play because this guarantees 2 damage versus just 1.
I can just use
That's why. Because if I did the other way, I would be forced to attack them and then go Vanguard.
Defensive fear, I can't attack with dual max.
Which maybe could have been better because then I could have cleared his board again. But pushing him to 4 damage here is just too valuable. And if you get the trigger, I'll just attack the rear guard anyway. And he gets another heal trigger, guys.
I got a little lucky there. It's 2 heals.
Oh my god, dude. Ugh, salty. I'm a little salty with that.
He has like
that
1
one's a little.
So it's 3
ice in the wound, a little salt in the wound right there. And then he rides the boy, baby. That's the perfect response to your opponent riding blockade. Perfect response. So maybe in hindsight it was a misplay, given what my opponent did following it. Then he gets 2 boosters. So he had boosters, but he kept them in his hand because he was afraid of my Goku just killing them. So you know what? Good on my opponent for being like a saving McGee here and saving his resources for the time that he wanted them in. But then he does this. He shows really good resource management and like planning. Then he does this, which I did not agree with this play at all. You know, like, hey, get rid of my dual axe and deal me 3 damage this turn. Yes, I agree with that. But now if I just get 1 defensive trigger, you don't go. No, sorry, that's not true. You only can guarantee 2 damage. If you had a 20k attacker, I would have agreed with this play. But he only has 2 16k attackers, 17 and 16. That will not work. That will not work. That's no. If I had 2 rear guards, maybe you could have gotten away with this, maybe. But still, I wouldn't have done
Overlord's effect. Okay,
like,
I see.
Until you can guarantee 3 damage with an attack like that, there's no point in doing it. You can't do it because he gets 0 drive check.
He'll be for 15, but then he can't hit me again, so he only pushes 2 more damage on maximum.
At all.
And now he's giving me a defensive trigger ability? What? That was bad sequencing there, guys. I don't agree with that.
This is the only one thing he hit now.
He could have lost his attacks there.
I'll be 20k regardless.
Oh, it's 16. I'm stupid. I thought it was 14. I thought for some reason bar was 6k. I don't know why.
Hate to see it.
Did you think that was hitting?
Yes, hate to see it.
But now I can wipe his board, guys, so I'm gonna do it. Do I have to write anything? I don't think I have to. No, I can actually call this here, which is really
And I'm gonna
good.
show him how to really use a Draconic Overlord skill right now, bro.
No, I can.
Here's how you really use Draconic Overlord.
I have a bar behind my Vanguard. I have a bar in my hand.
I'm debating on where to call it.
I thought I was being stupid.
I think what I choose to do
is
interesting.
I'm gonna activate Kamnara's
I believe I
skill.
do activate Kamnara's skill. So I use Kamnara's skill. So I'm going to use Kamnara's skill. I'm going to retire the back row bar. I'm going to use Blazing Flare's skill, retire Gojo. Then I'm going to use Draconic Overlord's skill to get rid of both of his front rows. And then I'm going to swing face with 13, 16, and 18. I do need a trigger to guarantee the 3rd damage. However, at this point, I don't care. I more care about clearing his board and dealing him 2 damage than I do about clearing his board and dealing him 3 damage. However, dealing him 3 damage is, of course, superior
rear guards
ability. Can't even say words. It's the best.
Sounds good, Almond. Thank you, man.
It's the best outcome.
Frozen the tournament and for all your support through all this, man. It means a lot. Ever coming to the stream means a lot, man. I'm sure you're going to all
the streams. And that's why I card like Blazing Flare plus Kamnara is just so good. Such a good card.
So all my dudes are hitting numbers if he gets a unless he gets a defensive. So we're just gonna swing Vanguard first. Let's see if he gets the defensive. He does
no
not.
trigger, which is good. I think I choose to attack with Blazing Flare here. No, I choose the Vanguard. Interesting. It's the same thing.
Oh,
like
and
a trigger regardless, and him not getting one.
Baby.
But I get the heal off heal. But
oh baby, yeah baby,
so
that's
good.
a good turn,
so
man. Don't get a defensive. Don't you dare get a defensive trigger. I want that 15.
Did not need it, but definitely glad it was there.
Oh, baby.
And he gets another whiff, so that's
show me that PG.
3 damage, and I
one card in his hand if he has a PG.
Eat your heart out, Vortex Dragon. Eat your heart out. He has 1 card in hand, no board. I'm at 3 damage. I think I have 2 PGs in my hand at this point. I really think it's guaranteed at this point. I don't even want to bother playing you guys the rest of the game, but I will. I will, because
Vortex Dragon,
last one short because I was embarrassed.
I'm assuming is a PG. That's his last. It's 3 more triggers.
Oh man.
1, 2.
But like, I'm also reviewing his triggers, guys. He's gone 4.
I knew he drew 1.
Gone through 4. He's out. He's out. It's a wrap, guys. I hate to be like blunt about it. It's a wrap.
Because then he forces
it's
me to draw
a beautiful present on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, like it. Oh, and he gets
now he's
the
out of
heal trigger,
but like,
guys.
I'm not thinking that bad about this because now he can't get a 6 damage heal, which is worse.
I'll be happy
6 damage heal is worse because a 6 damage heal can stop you from attacking.
Wow, guys, and just like that, the game is back in
which can just make him
swing.
last longer.
Because now my board is a little dry, and I don't have any offensive power here. I need to top deck a 10k
and my chest like
any kind, doesn't matter what it is.
This guy's a meanie pants.
Well, I guess that's
he is.
Call this anyway. Just pray for triggers to get to it.
Let me know, guys. Is my opponent getting lucky or am I getting lucky? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. I don't think I've gotten lucky at all this tournament. If I'm being honest with you.
Perfect timing. Because now I can guarantee.
I've had some lucky top decks. Other than that, though, nothing trigger wise.
I'm in semifinals, but you can go.
He didn't even deal me a damage that turn, so that trigger really doesn't even matter.
I'm playing the game right now.
My mom's talking to me up here, so I'm gonna try and talk over that so that way you guys can't hear that.
That was his last heal though, and I still have 1 heal left. So like now I know that he can't heal once I kill him, and I know for a fact that he's checked a PG.
But now he can use Draconic Overlord again, which is why, by the way, guys, him being able to use Draconic Overlord again is why I did not call any more units. Maybe push for game because I didn't want him to go for like a free PG, and then just kill my dudes on the next turn. So I consider some attackers this turn.
He has this turn. Yep, he has maximum 1 in his hand.
Just in case you wanted to be a mad lad and use
I
that
can
effect
push for more damage on the next turn if I top deck any kind of booster, which would be hot. Well, actually, I can just also call the Barri if I want to, because all I need to do is get enough damage to win the game.
And I get the defensive, which is huge.
Oh yeah, definitely.
not huge in the sense that it wins me the game, but it's
I
just
can
nice to
imagine
be like
nothing
another
else.
turn of like only 1 damage or less.
Draw trigger.
But he gets
so I'm gonna
another
assume that he
draw
has two
trigger.
PGs,
This
so
man
all
is
he needs
triggered
3
so
attacks to
much.
guarantee the game.
So like now all he needs to do is have both those cards be
Okay, now
PGs,
I
but we
can
know for a
assume-
fact that he
now I
only
can
has 2
assume he has
PGs
maximum,
left.
too.
Maximum.
I mean,
There's
of
only
course
2 in
he
his
has
hand. So if
maximum
I can just get
card,
3
but now I can
attacks
assume he
that hit
doesn't have
11k, we do win this game.
Another
So
Nahalem, so I can right skip here.
I just make
I
that
can
happen
call
this turn. I
Double
think.
Nahalem, which is nice. Then I can call this bar.
Yes, I'm gonna call it right. Yeah, go
any
me.
triggers
I
this
did
turn,
it.
It's over. The
This
game's over.
I saved.
I can trigger the game.
I don't think I saved any cards in my
got
hand,
it.
but I got the trigger,
Yes!
so now I can
That's
get
a
there. It
GG,
is.
man.
Look at my hype.
That's a GG.
Yes, my
I won.
this is my Tiger
Typing it
Woods
in right
like
now.
punch. Yes. Oh yeah.
Nahalem,
got
do
it.
it, baby.
Guaranteed victory.
We won, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Feels good, man. All right, guys, that was round 4. That was by far the best mirror matchup Kagura I've ever played in terms of how I approached it, and the results that I saw. You guys saw my opponent got every draw. I think he got a draw trigger or heal trigger every single drive check, every single like time he had a drive checking instance, you know, and we still won, regardless, because we just played it the way we need to play it, and he didn't draw all the PGs in the world, and we were still only at 4 damage. You know, like it was an outright win for sure. So that just shows the kind of determination you can have in terms of like, you know what, I'm not going to let this misplay from before tamper with the way that I play this game. I know I played this game correctly. I know how to win. Trust that, do that, be determined, move forward. And that's what I did, and I destroyed this man. Miwa showed Kai what was up. All right, guys, moving on to the final round of the tournament. All right, guys, this is the final round. Team ARCS C versus Team Dalton and the Funky Bunch. That's right. That's our team name. Team Dalton and the Funky Bunch. There's a reason for that. Come into my stream, ask me. I'll be happy to tell you guys. I go live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Pacific Standard Time. All kinds of Cardfight Vanguard Zero and Pokemon content over there. But guys, here we are in the final round against Tyranx, the leader, actually. No, I'm sorry. I think he's the second leader. He's the T in their name. There's Tyranx and there's Kvax. Kvax, I believe, is their leader. But this is it, guys. In this round, we go 2-1. My pal Eric loses the Kvax. Landon beats their other guy, and I beat Tyranx. So let's watch how I beat this other Royal Paladin player. This game's actually pretty sick, and it teaches you guys a lot of lessons that I explained earlier, but it's a good example of the kind of lessons that I talked about. So hopefully I can show that to you guys.
Royal Paladin. Okay,
You're
I
perfect.
know this matchup, guys.
I don't know what that says.
This matchup. I know
Let me
this
know.
matchup.
Let me know in the comments what that says, guys.
Going first,
I
too.
got
That's
no
really
clue what
good.
it says. I got no clue what it
Okay, I
says.
know how to win this.
I'm not even gonna pretend to try and know what that says. Playing against Royal Paladin again. Again, my least favorite matchup for this tournament because I know that a lot of things kind of need to go my way. I do want to win, or it depends on what kind of list they're playing. He's playing Barco, which after seeing Barco, I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm not worried about it. He might be playing Soul Saber Dragon. I'm not really worried about the normal version of Soul Saber Dragon. If somehow he was a god and played Eric's version of Soul Saber Dragon, I probably would have lost. Because that version, I think Eric beat me 3 games out of 5 that we played with that final list, and it was impressive, the kind of results that were coming. I think I only won one of them because I got like super lucky and like healed twice in a turn or something. That was pretty cool. But man, that deck is scary, guys. I wish I could have played it on ranked for you guys, because it would have been so nice. But I don't have any Soul Saber Dragons, so can't play it, sadly.
Right away, so that wasn't misplayed. Not hanging.
That's also another thing I wanted to point out too, guys. Like we didn't choose the decks based on like we chose the 3 decks that we were gonna play based on what cards we had. You know, we're all pretty much free to play, so we don't really have that many cards at our disposal to use. We were lucky enough that Eric can play Royal Paladin, Landon can play Novas, and I can play Kagura. So we were so lucky with that. If one of us would have had to play OTT, we would have been effed. I got nothing for that, man. I have 1 Tom. That's it.
Contagious, but it's fine. It depends on where he puts it. Gall. Okay. Well, he might not use his effect. Oh, yeah, he'll use the effect and put the floater behind it. That's fine. Yeah, he is playing Soul Saber Dragon. Okay. Now, is he playing the Lu combo? He could be. I think you would search for Lu first.
I remember thinking the whole time during this game, maybe what if I win and both my teammates lose? I remember being very worried about that, but I remember just like being like, hey, trust your teammates. You know they can kick butt. You know.
I will push for damage here. On this turn, I will push for damage because I think it's worth it. Especially if I can get access to my Flame Edge Dragon. I don't like giving him the ability to use Blaster Blade, but oh yes, Oh, it's extremely worth it now, guys. It's extremely worth it now. Because now he can't trigger me. Cool.
So this is an important moment that I want to point out to you guys, is that I knew that this turn was a little greedy for me. However, I know that so like in my testing against Royals, I win most of the time if I push the faster I push in the 5 damage, because for some reason the Royal Paladin late game compared to mine has just always been better than me, and I don't know why I'm doing that differently. But I decided to be a bit aggressive here, and it pays off. I get a PG out of their deck, so I'm ultimately rewarded here. But I was being a little bit greedy this turn. But you know what? You can afford to be a little bit greedy when you trust your teammates like I do. That's what's nice about this team tournament, you know, is that you can kind of be a little bit more risky than maybe you would in a normal kind of tournament setting, because instead of having all the risk on yourself and how risky you play, you actually can be a little bit naughty and a little bit like risky, because you can actually kind of, you know, be a bit because you kind of diversify your risk to your opponents, because you don't really get as punished if you lose as long as they win. So if you think about it like that way, like risk-averse type behavior isn't really that rewarded in a team-style tournament if you have faith in your teammates, which I do. So that's why I made a risky play. Not because I normally would make that play, because I wanted to kind of get super ahead of my opponent if I can. And it worked out great for me, so that's really great.
There seems to be some
rides Blaster Blade and kills my Flame Edge, which is annoying, but depending on what version of the deck he's playing, forcing him to get rid of 2 counterblasts is really good. And my opponent makes an amazing decision here. He realizes that maybe he's going to need those counterblasts late game to superior call units instead of killing units, so he decides to not use Blaster Blade's skill. That is the play a true Royal Paladin player makes, and that was a very impressive play. I remember telling Tyranks afterwards that was one of the most amazing plays I've ever seen, and it's such a simple thing. Just don't use this skill. Just don't use it. You don't have to. Really good play. So happy he did that.
Meanwhile, me and
he did other things in the game though that made me question kind of.
He's calling the Gallatin. He's calling the Wingall. He's going hard.
This is a good formation here, I think. His Vanguard being 14 isn't that great. Hey, look,
this guy's got restraint, guys. This guy's got restraint.
Thanks for following again, I guess, in the future. That's
no trigger for him. Do I get?
I've never seen my thing go off in a video before. That's pretty cool. That's my follow alert, by the way, guys. If you guys didn't know, yeah, draw trigger.
Such a big draw trigger.
Look at me being so hyped about it, because like this is the finals, guys. I don't feel like that. Like that kind of informs you to why I'm being so crazy right now, is because I'm so happy that I'm getting lucky in the finals, right?
You have no
that's
idea
great.
How big that was just now.
And like got a whole entire attack away from me. I ride Draconic Overlord. I think it was my only option. I think I would have preferred to have Blockade here, obviously, for the push damage, but it's fine. I'm going to use Kunara's effect to trigger Joka, kill both of his rear guards, and then attack with my Vanguard. Boom. Easy as that. My opponent's hand is getting very, very small, and I basically just killed every single unit that he called last turn. Every unit he called last turn I killed, so it's kinda hype.
Goku's really good. You go first.
We know one's a grade 3. We assume one's a PG, and then the last card, who cares what it is? He's forced to commit it if he wants to deal damage to me, right?
Okay, no triggers.
You know, like, you guys always got to pay attention to like all the resources your opponents have, and that's another PG in the damage zone. Oh my god, I remember being like, I think it's over, guys. Like that's so bad.
PG's gone, guys. That's
so bad. I believe by the end of this game I have 4 PGs in my hand. He gets the outfit early though, which is so good for him in this situation. He needs units. He needs units.
Alfred early.
This would have been a time that I think I would have been okay with him using Blaster Blade skill. Him choosing not to kind of leads me to believe that he has a King of Knights in his hand. He doesn't. So then I'm like, why would you not use the skill? And then I realize it's because, well, he knows that if I get a damage trigger and he doesn't, he's not attacking me anyway, so he may as well just use the attack. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's the right play. I'm not sure. I probably would have used the skill.
Like when you guys live by love, die by love. You know, like I don't agree with that kind of play.
I don't really play Royal Paladins that much. I don't know enough about how to play them. I just know how to play against them.
Which isn't nothing.
Also, guys, can I give a real shout out here to the Nahalem sleeves, because the Nahalem sleeves with Nahalem directly underneath him, right there, like right here, looks like so good. It looks really good.
But like, I still don't like it.
I love those sleeves. That's a level 30 clan level reward, by the way.
A swing at the blast.
Just goes to show how many times I've played Cockroach in this game.
I have one, so it's fine.
I call another Overlord.
Yes.
Which I regret doing because I only have one more in my deck. I only have these 2 in my deck, I should say, and now if he kills my Overlord, I won't be able to use his skill, but my hand is just PGs. I literally have like, I think 3 to 4 PGs in my hand right now. This draw trigger is very, very much needed. Oh, that's the 4th one. I have 4 PGs in my hand. I have 4 PGs in my hand.
Like, if you want to be a little risky, sure, but you have to understand that it is a risk.
So, well, that's amazing. I definitely don't have. I'm definitely lacking boosters and attackers, but luckily, with the amount of damage that I dealt early on in the game, it's still kind of around the same damage area I want him to be at. He has like 0 board and 3 damage. I can get away with that. The reason why I attacked the rear guard there was, guys, he has 2 cards in his hand. If we assume that one of those cards is one of his very few PGs left, how's he gonna attack me and do stuff to me?
I'll deal with that once we get done with this game.
Yep, I got 4 PGs. Chat is like talking about it now. He's doing so good. Everyone's giving me compliments. Thank you, guys. I do what I can. I do what I can. I wish I saved that Overlord, but I believe it was my only attacker, so I had to call it to get anything going. He swings with 15. I think he gets 0 triggers here. He has the draw trigger, which is hot, but he loses his Alfred, his King of Knights. Which really,
he's due for so many triggers, by the way, guys. Like, he is due.
This is also why I don't like King of Knights here too, is because by playing King of Knights, you kind of de-incentivize yourself, if that makes sense, to want to use other skills, because he demands so much counterblast that if you use other skills that cost counterblast, you're like, why am I playing this card? So like, he was saving his Blaster Blades and his Hakane's effect so that way he could use potentially this guy's effect, and then he never got it. So it feels bad, man. It feels bad for sure. That's why I don't like that card. It demands so much out of how you play. Which I don't agree with, putting a card like that in your deck. A card like Overlord here, where his skill kind of doesn't matter to your main strategy, is fine. And when you do get to get him off, it's pretty busted. So it's nice.
Booster here, it's a very bad play.
I don't know. I don't know what I choose to do here. I could ride this, but I checked and I made sure that I had the 4 soul already. So I think this turn what I do is I either kill Barkle or Gallatin. I don't know what's correct. I think Barkle's more correct, technically. But in the specific scenario that I was in, yeah, okay. So I definitely, yeah, that's the correct play in my opinion too, because I clear out the column and that forces 2 more cards out of his hand most of the time if he wants to try and kill or deal damage to my
I only needed to force 1 more damage this turn,
and while I don't get any more attacks here, you know, I think it's still worth it just to clear those 2 columns and have 2 good attackers on my rear guard circle that he has to deal with. He goes to 5 damage.
He's probably drawing.
Sorry, no, it's 4 damage. I lied. 4 damage. I'm at 4 as well. And he rides the Bridget, which leads me to believe that he's going to do 2 things. One of 2 things. He's going to call rear guards that will require triggers to get over my Vanguard. So this kind of strategy is interesting, and I've seen it done before. So he'll probably call like 1 column and then another card that doesn't hit my Vanguard, but the other column does. So he'll hit my Vanguard, and then he'll be 15 to 16. But if he gets 1 trigger, it actually adds 2 5k boosts, which that's really good. That's really strong. But that's a live by trigger, die by trigger mentality. So when you're making a strategy in a turn that revolves around that, you have to be ready for if it fails. He kind of overextends a little bit.
So he has to be careful. He has to always play around the potential.
And what he'll do is he'll really lean into that live by trigger, die by trigger mentality this turn, and it won't work out for him.
Good kill. I can still activate.
It's very sad.
You know, regular Overlord though, and not like kill.
Yeah, now he's gonna use Hakane. We're just gonna save those kind of.
Now he's regaining board. You see, that's why I didn't waste my Overlord effect there, because now I can use Overlord
this turn when they matter.
Clear his board and then still deal him damage.
So like now what he's hoping happens here is that he goes, I think he goes 16 to Van, or 15 to Van.
Which I do agree with.
He wants a trigger to make sure that Hakane can
hit. In a weird formation if he wants to optimize.
Like in this scenario, he didn't have to ride Bridget. I realized here. Like I don't think he needs Bridget to be the ride here, because a trigger still matters for, you know, Hakane to attack.
But again, guys, like I have to reiterate this again.
Anyway, I think he's realizing right here that Bridget is not the way to go.
Like if your strategy for trying to get any damage is to get a trigger, like I don't agree with that. Like I agree
watching this back, I'm realizing it's like, yeah, Bridget was not play that.
Of how you play the game revolves around it.
Staying on Alfred really gets the same thing for me. He gets no triggers. Hakane can't even hit plays in player.
Oh my, and it's a defensive heal.
Yeah,
my opponent's being so punished right now, but he's playing into it.
That's unlucky for him. Like having that rear guard column was the correct play, but it just is like feels bad, man. That he got punished that way.
Or just not care. Like I'm to the point now where I have so much.
I think this turn I actually decided to use Overlord skill because I drew Tejas, and that means I can clear his board.
It just does not matter. Like,
I can clear his board again.
I don't need to draw
and
more
guys,
cards,
I have 4 PGs in my hands. I don't need to use Overlord's. I don't need to drive check this turn. I push him to 5 damage using this
on Vanguard,
and it's really good.
I've never used. I almost never used the skill.
And I clear his board again. Like that's the part that makes me laugh. As I did it again. I've cleared so many boards. It's crazy.
It's looking like
Crazy.
Eric
Oh my
won
god,
his game,
this
so
is
if I
good
win
play.
this match, guys,
I like
we win
watching
the
this.
finals.
This is a good game
If I
for
win
me
this
on my
match, we
side
win
of
the
things. I
finals.
feel kind of bad for my opponent.
So
He's
that's
getting a
no
little unlucky,
pressure.
which is never fun. But man,
I'm just gonna show you guys my hand right now. Show you guys a little something here.
I sure
got
did
4 PGs in my
capitalize on
hand, so
things. I showed you guys my 4 PGs
opponent's
there.
at 5 damage already. If my guess is he
Look
just
all that
drew a heel
hype. That's
trigger.
my hype emote.
Disconnected
Those are my
and
hype
gave
emotes. So
up.
like if you type in
If he gives up here, I would
exclamation
not be
point
surprised.
hype in chat, that will play, and it's pretty awesome.
That Gal again. So like obviously, so he did draw the heel trigger. I feel bad. He has no perfect guards.
Gets
in
the
his hand,
Gallatin and
guys.
Bridget. So I know his hand is
Actually
empty. He
zero.
drew
I
a
just
heel
need,
trigger, which feels bad, man.
A way to kill that Gallatin.
Feels
Like a push
really
for
bad.
lethal next turn.
He gets a draw trigger though, so he could draw his last PG.
If he does.
So I will play around
I'll
that,
ask him if he
but
does,
it's pretty much over, guys. Game's over.
And a
Gets a
stand
stand trigger, which is really
I kind of
impressive.
used the stand
I
trigger,
realized
but
they
hey,
ran
stand
stands
trigger,
with the flowable, so I'm like, oh yeah,
That's
stand
hype.
triggers. Neat. Doesn't do anything here, but neat.
And it's not like I have 0 triggers
Very
either.
neat.
All I need is an attacker for that Gallatin, guys, and I can just win the game this turn. Even if I don't get it, I still have another turn just to swing at him, so like it's pretty hot.
I get the Berserker
that's so
Dragon, which
good.
is pretty huge because I can
That's really
automatically
good.
kill the Gallatin.
It's less good because it
I
can't.
believe I
already
do
hit
here. Yep.
Bridget for
This is
damage,
one of the
but
rare
if I get a
scenarios where I'll use a
trigger,
Berserk to
obviously,
actually kill the
but
Great
I
too,
just
because then I
attack
can just
my
get a
Vanguard
free
and
extra
I
attack.
can potentially win
And
the
actually,
game.
you don't have any boosters in my hand that I want to commit because I don't see a reason to commit my
Trigger, let's see.
PGs until I can
Did you
guarantee
draw
the win.
PG?
And I
You did not.
actually
Is that a heel
think
trigger?
that's the win right there, guys.
won.
Look how hype I am with my victory in the finals. But yeah, guys, that is it for my tournament. I ended up 4-1. Eric ended up 3-2, and of course, Landon ended up 5-0. And because I didn't lose when Eric lost, and Eric didn't lose when I lost, we ended up winning the whole entire thing. And that's all she wrote, guys. That's as simple as it is. If you guys want to watch the full VOD of everything that happened in the actual stream that I did more stuff afterwards, like some ranked fights, some Grand Blue stuff. Links are in the description below. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and hop into the outro for this video. All right, after all is said and done, what did we learn from this tournament? We learned 3 things. I learned how much fun it is to play a competitive Vanguard tournament again, especially with your friends. Working with your friends to achieve a winning condition or a competitive type of tournament is so much fun. The next time they do a tournament like this, guys, definitely should check it out. I'm going to leave a link to the tournament Discord down in the description below. Definitely check it out, guys. Almond is a really good person who's running an amazing Discord and has some amazing tournaments out there for solos and now for teams. Really exciting. Number 2 is that I kind of facilitated my knowledge of the meta. I used everything that I've gained through making these videos for you guys, through playing this game for the past like week and a half. And I realized everything that I needed to accomplish for this tournament, and we built it into our decks, and then we built it into the way we play, and it showed results. And it felt so good to get that validation of all this kind of theory, mon type stuff, or just everything, you know. It just kind of validated everything that I've been doing, and it really does mean a lot. And the third thing is I had a lot of fun. I had so much fun talking with my opponents, talking with all you guys in the stream, playing the games. You know, it just was so good. When you do this game and you do it right and you get the results you want, it really does make you feel really good, and you have a lot more fun with the game. Every time I got unlucky too, by the way, guys, like I didn't realize until watching this afterwards, my opponents got like really lucky in terms of their drive checks, and every now and then, except for my last opponent, I don't think it really fazed me that much in the actual stream or thinking about it the way I played. I kind of just like it kind of just like bounced off me, which means my mindset that day was really, really good. I think my mindset for that tournament was like the best it's ever been for a competitive type event, and that was really awesome. We had a lot of awesome memories made during that stream, you guys. I hope that we can do it again more in the future. The more tournaments that I participate in for this game, hopefully you guys can come support me, root for me, and we can win some more games. Guys, my name is not TrueChampionSteven for nothing. I gotta win some more things if I want that title to mean something. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. The tournament report and recap and deck lists and all that stuff that we did for this tournament are now over. We're now going to focus our mindset in preparing everything for set 2. I believe the double drop days are happening now, so that's super hype. So that's super hype. Get to VB farming, guys. Get all those packs ready. Get all those gems ready. Get all those materials you need for the next set, because the next set is going to be super intense. I plan on doing a lot of fun stuff for that set in terms of videos for you guys, both entertainment and information-based videos. So hopefully we can we can do a lot of fun stuff that way. A huge shout out again to my teammates Landon and Eric. This is my bestest friends in the whole world. I was super happy to get to win with them. I remember telling them the day that I asked them to play, guys, if we just show up and we play the game that we always play and we do what we do, we're going to win. I had no doubt in my mind that because Dalton and the Funky Bunch were together again, that we were going to win. And we did. And it was just like, if you guys watch me in the things that I say in that tournament, like I'm talking like we're going to win the whole time during the stream. And then we did win. And it was just like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen, but I'm still hype about it because we did it. We won a global tournament. So yeah, guys, that'll be it for me today. Thank you guys so much again for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please be sure to show that love by leaving a like and commenting down below your favorite moment of the stream or of today's video. Definitely would help me know what you guys like about certain Vanguard Zero videos. But with all that being said, you guys, I have been your true champion, Steven. Thank you so much for watching this video. Always remember, work hard, rest easy, and live well, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.